lack of sleep, pretty typical for me. But today I'm headed up to Makro first. But that breaker doesn't unbreak itself, right? We're all adults here. Well, most of the time I am. I fondle my knob when I'm driving. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing great. Lack of sleep, pretty typical for me. Been getting a lot of calls from the States. I've been back from my trip a few days. Just kind of reacclimating to sitting still. I mean, I'm sleeping in my own bed, which sucks compared to some of the hotels I stayed in on the trip. But today I'm headed up to Makro first. That'll be my first stop anyway. Because when I was gone, when I was on the trip, speculation, don't know what exactly happened. Either a power surge or somebody plugged something into one of my outdoor outlets and overamped it and kicked my main breaker. I believe that's what happened. Now, there's been, talking to the landlord and stuff, there's been serious thunderstorms, thunder and lightning, storms, a lot of rain. So, and even their power's been flickering. I'm closest to the street. Highly plausible. But I do know that the old lady, grandma, which I don't mind, okay, she occasionally plugs in her little electric trimmer or the charger for it, okay, in one of my outdoor outlets. And how do I know that? Because I've seen her do it down the line at some of the other houses. So, which if I was in the States, that wouldn't happen, because I had a contractor building a house next to mine, and I came home one day, and his guys were running their saws and shit off of my house. And my reaction was quite different than it is now. So, but I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. It was probably a power surge, because it's common here. But that breaker doesn't unbreak itself, right? So everything was off. Well, everything but the two refrigerators I have. The one is landlord supplied, small, like medium or whatever. And then my personal larger refrigerator that you would normally have in America, because we eat so much and we buy so much shit. But I lost all my Wagyu beef from the freezer. I had probably another 5 kilos of lamyai that were peeled and pitted, ready for me to make whatever I wanted with, smoothies, juice, wine. I lost all of those too, individual containers, all dressed, lost all that. Even some freaking chicken nuggets, that I can put in the air fryer. Lost all that. Anything that needed lane closure, anything that needed refrigeration was gone. Okay, or freezer, oh my, ice and just stupid stuff. But the main one was that really hit home was the beef, because I had intentions on hell, you guys don't want to watch me. Let me turn this around. And I'm gonna reach up with both hands and try to swing this just a little bit. Okay, there we go, that's better. Let me turn it up a little bit. I don't want to look at the flipping dash and all that shit. Well, it's kind of crooked now. I might have to pull over to adjust it. All right, we'll deal with it, okay? We're all adults here. Well, most of the time I am. But that was the big one, because I was planning on making, I'd made 3 small batches of beef jerky, because I hadn't made any in a long time, and since I'd retired, and I'm like, I'm craving some frickin' beef jerky, and I don't when I cook, I don't measure things out, okay? I mean, some things I measure out, yes, but the rest of it is touchy-feely, right? Test it, taste it, okay, we're ready. And so that's what I did. And that third batch, and I take notes, okay? Literally, I'm that anal or OCD, whatever you want to call it. I'll write it down. It was this, it was that, just basic shorthand notes that I've created for myself to tell me what's going on. And I finally, okay, I got the good recipe. I got my old recipe back. And so I was looking forward to making a bunch of jerky and sharing it. I normally do anyway, but sharing it with some folks. And of course, I lost all that beef. Lane closure 1 kilometer ahead. Is it still there? I'm hitting yes on my secondary phone, but it's actually my primary GPS. I've got my whatever you call that tablet thingy, and my big screen on the thing, it's all set up to play music. So as soon as I'm done yapping here, I'm going to be cranking on my tunes on the way to Makro in the big city. I've already passed the hot springs where you've seen videos of from me, from Chuck and Paige, and there's a temple that I've gone to a couple of times. I filmed it once. On another note, this high-rise you see off to the right, they have really made some progress in the last month. I think I mentioned this already, but I'm not sure. My trip was 34 days. That's the longest Thailand road trip I've taken. I've taken longer trips back in the day, but that's the longest I've taken in Thailand in one chunk, you know. So, anyway, I'm a little distracted right now. I got a motorcycle here. I want him to pass. I want to let him pass. I want to let him know he can pass. And he's coming up on the left. Little Yamaha. I'm not sure if that's the X-Max or what, but anyway, great day for riding. 33C. As long as you're moving, it's not too hot. But that beef, I lost, 250, let's just say $200, $200 worth of beef. And I got, oh, I'm so sorry. What do you do, right? Do I chew somebody's ass? Do I jump up and down? No, I just take the hit, right? I would have expected something. Now the juristic, that's Ann, who I call the landlord. She's actually not my landlord. Her sister, who lives in Pitsanalope, is my landlord. The actual owner of the houses of which one I live in. I better pay attention. This guy's kind of moving. Like moving. And I'm in no hurry. Anyway, when she sent me my rent thing, line, here's your rent for the month and your power and your water, I would have expected gosh, I'm really sorry that happened, blah, 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 but nah, Mox Nix, sabai, right? There was nothing. I kind of expected that I would at least get oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Because I honestly think that it was the power company, power surge. Physics, not the landlady, not the old lady, not grandma, right? This market here gets me every time, I tell you, because people will literally park in the road, double park on the freaking highway, okay? And 9 times out of 10, I come up here, I miss it, and I forget to move over. But with me yapping, anyway, back to the beef. Where's the beef? So I lost all that, and so I'm going to stock up on some basics. Gets me on the road. Keeps I'm kind of bored with riding to the market, the local market, and stuff like that. So I want to go in a big store and walk around, maybe talk to some people. But yeah, just stock up on some things that the local stores don't have. But so that's all I'm doing, and then maybe on the way back I'll stop at Taiwatsadu and a couple of shelves I want to look at. Which reminds me, I forgot my tape. I have my regular tools in the back seat, so I have 2 tape measures in there. Fat Max, Stanley Fat Max, 25 footer, and then a 12 footer or something like that. I mean, you could stretch it out over 10 feet before it'll go snap, fall over. Like a tie tape I can go like 3 feet and then but it does the job. But I usually take that little thing into the store when I'm measuring things up, looking at things, how they're going to work, whatever. what have you. So I'm looking at some shelves. Global House doesn't have any. A video that came out a couple days ago had. I think I was talking about that a little bit. But if I see, I'm not going to film. Okay, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to film in Makro, but I don't know what I'm going to film. It all depends on what piques my interest. Okay. Same with Taiwatsa do. I'm not going to like make a video out of it. Right now, this is just a kind of an update on things. Another thing is, looks like I got a lot of. I haven't answered them yet, but video that came out today, I believe, gratuitous butt shots. And I just skimmed through the comments. Now, YouTube did not like that video. Okay? They said no originally. And I said, I'm not showing any, anything critical on the female form, okay? There's a little skimpy going on, but I'm not showing, I'm showing less than what you can see on Instagram and TikTok, for crying out loud. I mean, there's some full-on shots of body parts, women body parts, on these other platforms, and I've seen other videos being shown on YouTube that show way more than I show, and I blurred out customers and certain parts that I knew were too much, but they said no. I said, no, I want a human review. I'm requesting a human review. So I got that human review back, and it said, no, it's not suitable for advertising and all this kind of stuff. And I said, okay. But I can still air it. I said, sir, I'm airing it, man. A, gets it off my camera or off my phone, gets it up, gets some people can enjoy it or hate me for it. You know, it's not something I do every day, and it was a compilation of two years at least of trips to Pattaya. And like I said in the description, some of the pictures were sent to me, were shared with me, and I cited, I noted, who. I don't know if I said special thanks, but I posted their web pages, their YouTube sites and stuff like that. But no, they were pretty tame to me, really. But I've, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it. It's ridiculous. Some things just fly by, and others. I'm just passing, literally, the turn to the White Temple. That intersection, if I took a left there, I'd be at the White Temple in 200 meters, okay? So you can kind of figure out where I live, right? If you really don't know, I live in Phan, Phan, Muang, Muaeng, Phan. Okay? There you have it. Doxing in progress. I don't care. If you want to come visit, come visit. I like company. But so that YouTube said, no, it's not good. It's, it's not gonna not gonna help your algorithm, Mr. Mitch. and it's not suitable for advertisers. And I'll tell you what, man, it actually is. So if I've got, for example, if I'm pumping out, shit, I'm already 20 minutes. See, I can't keep my mouth shut, man. If I'm sitting there whittling on a stick with a SOG knife or a Kershaw knife or whatever, they're gonna put, maybe some, PSE advertisements, precision shooting equipment, bows, archery, compound bows. They may put knife commercials up. They may put survival food up. It all depends on where you're at and what your tastes are. Everything is tailored to you. I don't pick it. They pick it. The AI picks it. So I guarantee you, the comments that I saw so far, God dang, thanks, man. It wasn't clickbait. It was really gratuitous butt shots. Okay? That's what I wanted to do. Put them up. Because I've got comments, I'll do that. I'll say that when I'm walking down the street or somewhere in wherever. And I'll zoom in on some female forum and go, that's for the guy's little gratuitous shot there. Okay? And then some guys will comment, oh man, right, thanks, man, It's all in fun. Okay? It's not being, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've said this 100 times, if once, okay? If I see a handsome guy, a handsome dude, a man, shit, I'll take a picture. I'll get a picture, and I'll say, "Lucky son of a bitch." You know what I mean? I'm like, God, he was in the proper gene pool. You know what I mean? I'm like, oops, damn, I missed my turn. Fuck. Holy shit. I'm gonna whip a U here. I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna, because I want to go that other way. So we're headed back towards home, and I don't know how far until the nearest U-turn, but again, I wasn't paying attention. So it's about 800 meters, it says. So anyway, but I'll take a picture of a guy, and I'll say, dude, that dude's handsome. Holy shit. Or I'll take a picture of a lady boy and go, my God. You know what I mean? I'm completely secure with my masculinity. Okay? Now when I grew up, in the environment I grew up in, holy smokes, man. It was, God, homophobic, racist freaking household. And it surprises a lot of people that I'm not like that. Thank you, Isuzu D-Max, for going, and no, I am not going. Man, I could go, but no, this guy on the outside, you'll see him. There's going to be 2 cars passing, but the black Cherry is really hauling the mail. So anyway, I'm not insecure with that kind of stuff. I do not care. I literally don't care. As long as I'm not in the gym shower and you're staring at me, that kind of thing. Okay? Or if you're not like putting your hand on my leg and saying, "Hey, Big Daddy," then we're gonna have a problem. Okay, not an altercation, but it'll be made perfectly clear that keep your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you do in Thailand, you don't want to start a fight with a Thai person, man, woman, or ladyboy, because you are going to end up being pummeled, ground and pound. But totally off the subject. I'm headed to Makro to possibly buy some meat and pick up some staples. Not staples, but some food staples. Some of my long-term stuff, like cheese and things like that. All right, 25 minutes. I'm putting it all up. I don't care. I hope you enjoy it. That clicking noise you hear is my Brody knob or tractor knob or whatever you want to call it. I play with it. I fondle my knob when I'm driving. I fidget. I have a spinner a friend gave me. If I can't get to that, I'll grab a paper clip or a rubber band, or I've always been that way. I'll fidget with something. But anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride. Later.